I know you felt this before. You wake up, you're clear, you're focused, you feel strong, but then something starts shifting in your field. You get triggered and your thoughts start changing. Next thing you know, that changing your thoughts, you experience an emotional drop. And then that emotional drop, it starts influencing your behavior. And next thing you know, you're triggered and off track. And guess what? This keeps happening. We experience this rise, this spike in our elevation. And the next thing you know, we experience this fall. We are building only to collapse. And it is imperative that we understand these are not isolated random events. It's not so much even discipline, it's more so a side effect of neglecting our energy hygiene. And if you do not understand this, you will never consistently sustain your elevation. In Lakesh, in Veritas, with honor, respect, and gratitude, I am Tarvars of the Sun, a specialist and instructor of energy hygiene within the Of the Sun collective. And here at Of the Sun, we operate on the conviction that through daily energy hygiene, alignment with universal laws, and conscious cultivation of light, any being can purify themselves, reclaim sovereignty, and embody their divine design, not merely as a belief system, but as a living, breathing lifestyle. So, welcome, Energy Hygiene 101. This is the first of many within our mini series on energy hygiene in support of our Energy Hygiene 101 class. And today, you're going to see exactly why this keeps happening and how to stop the drop. So let's begin with some pattern recognition. I want you to take a look at your life honestly. Look around. I want you to look at your life and take a look at the days that you felt real powerful. Noticing then where you felt off. Then maybe take a moment. Notice moments in your day where you felt clear, and then moments where you just lost it. You lost all control. And this right here, this is the pendulum swing. This is the we over here, then we over here. And most people think this is normal. This is not normal. It's common, but it's not normal. You were not designed to constantly collapse. You were designed to sustain elevation. And the issue is real simple. You're dealing with an accumulation of energetic interference within your field. The reality is that every single day you're picking up energy. You're accumulating energetic accumulation from people, accumulating energetic accumulation from environments, from your own thoughts. You know, that thinking that is perpetual. So you have all these sources of energetic accumulation within your field, but you don't clear it. So it builds. What else is there to do in the third dimension? Everything gets dirty and everything requires clearing. So when it builds past this threshold, the pressure makes you drop. And so the question about this drop is, are all drops the same? Or are they different? The short answer is no, they're not all the same. So let's go ahead and explore this a little further in detail. So we need to separate two things. We need to separate the dips from the drops. Now, a dip is controlled. A dip is you feel something, maybe a little off, a little trigger, you process it. This could be by way of energy hygiene, then you rise again. That's a dip. Not too bumpy. A drop is uncontrolled. You feel something comes in, I'm triggered. You made me. The stories we tell ourselves. And then you spiral out of control, and then you stay there. You stay there in the turbulence, bouncing around. Influence from the trigger, from the signal. Your energy collapses. Then your thoughts follow that collapse. Your emotions follow that collapse. Your actions follow that collapse. This is what happens in the drop. So let's run this back. Another example would be with the dip. Let's say you feel it. What you're feeling maybe the trigger, maybe you feel some guilt, some fear, it rises up, and you decide to regulate it by way of energy hygiene, and then you end up growing from this. Now, the drop, again, you replay it for hours on end, you lose clarity, you lose your power. And so we have here the same event, but we have a different outcome. And the difference is not the situation. The difference is your level of cleanliness or your capacity, your willingness to clear yourself of the debris from the dip and or the drop. As you listen to this content and you start to see these patterns in your life, you're likely ready for training. And we break this down step by step inside our Energy Hygiene 101 class. And if you want structure and real application, check out the link below in the description. So let's talk a little more about the difference between the levels of cleanliness and what's causing the drop. What's causing the drop? Shall we go deeper, as we say here at Of the Sun? So why does the drop happen in our elevation? It's primarily because we are not consciously aware of the energetic accumulation that has built up in our fields. So everything in your reality, it leaves a residue. It's so important to understand this from our conversations, social media, the build-up stress, the environments, the internal dialogue. You don't feel it immediately. And that's I think the thing that throws us off. We don't immediately feel it. That's the problem. But it quietly stacks. Starts stacking and accumulating, and then one moment, next thing you know, it pushes you over the edge. And the thing is, we think that that moment caused the drop. It didn't start in the middle of the book. The truth is that that moment revealed the buildup. It's not where it started. This is why people stay confused. You know, we blame the trigger in the moment, but we ignore the accumulation that's been building up in the background. So let's talk a little bit about the truth of who and what you are, because it is imperative for us to reassess how we identify. Maybe you know this, maybe you don't, but you are not just physical. You are not just mental. You're energy first. So we exist on multiple layers or multiple planes of existence. We have our physical, our emotional, our mental, and the spiritual / energy aspect of ourselves. Energy sits above all of them. It's the causal factor. And so what happens to you energetically, it starts controlling what happens to you mentally, what happens to you emotionally and physically, and so on and so forth. So the physical is just a shadow of what's happening energetically. And that means this: if your energy is off, everything's off. And most people, we try to fix this behavior. We try to fix the behavior just at the physical, that surface, because it didn't start there. The energy is really the root system. You know, we got this thing flipped upside down, inside out, and backwards. So until you clean at the root, which is your energy, nothing stabilizes within your physical reality. So now you see the problem clearly, but there's one more piece to this that most people never face. And the hard truth is this: everything gets dirty. Everything gets dirty. Everything in this third dimensional reality gets dirty. Your body needs cleaning. Your space needs cleaning. Your energy needs cleaning. And most people, we accept the first two. Yeah, let me clean my body. Let me fix up my space. But no, like, you're literally that third, that energy field, it starts getting ignored. And this is why we stay stuck. This is why we stay stuck like Chuck. I don't know who Chuck is, but Chuck been stuck. So if you do not clean your energy, you will likely keep repeating the cycles, because it's the energy within the field of memory that continues to perpetuate it. So no matter how much you learn, no matter how much you research, no matter how motivated you feel, it will continue to perpetuate. So now that we understand, it's time to stop the cycle. So if you're ready to stop the cycle and take some action, there's a link in the description to our free energy hygiene practices to start stepping into responsibility for your energy hygiene. Or you can book a free discovery call, And in this focused 30-minute session, you'll gain clarity on where you are, what's holding you back, and what are the next steps required. And we guide you through training paths, classes, and support systems that match your current stage of growth. Or you could just jump right into the energy hygiene training with our introductory classes, where you will learn how to clear, how to stabilize, and how to sustain your elevation. And this is how you move into sovereignty. Dips, not drops, people. So in the next video, we're going to go deeper and we will see exactly where we are at our core. And once you see it, it's going to change your entire approach to reality.